Hi everyone, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I have a Divine Masculine Twin Flame read for you today, a little bit of sand art, and if I probably won't do, I'll probably do oracle cards with the Divine Feminine. But this is the Divine Masculine. There's a lot to report. Some really cool downloads came in, as well as some interesting information about the situation. So for the sand art, really quickly, and it is January 1st, 2019. Happy New Year, everyone. Let's make it a good one. We have in the sand art, toothpick in the mouth came up again, as well as sperm. Ninja turtle came up, as well as kids playing with the Ninja Turtle toy they got, but they came up separately, like two different images. I also saw like E.T. elves, like you'd see elves wrapping Christmas presents and an assembly line type thing, but I was seeing them as E.T. elves. And then also men with gas masks at a control board, and at first I thought it looked like a music studio, so that could be involved as well, but then I was seeing it as a NASA space launch, that the launch ends up coming back down. And then I saw actually that NASA has an ET who was struggling, and they're trying to heal him. But I was also getting the energy of us in the etheric realms going for healings as well. But I was seeing humans working with gas masks, working on an ET. That definitely wasn't a human. So the NASA has somebody. And I also saw fireworks, one big one, which was interesting because I wasn't hearing fireworks last night. Every once in a while I'd hear one big one. Kumbaya came up, that word, as well as someone sitting cross-legged and kind of swaying back and forth. So maybe singing around a campfire or just singing in a meditation, but also someone just lounging in like a Cleopatra chair, you know, a lounge chair, and spirits connecting with me. I also saw these men who look like they're in gas masks. I also saw another situation where they were making dough. So somebody's making, you know, counterfeit money or something like that to make money. Somebody's doing something illegal to make money. Whether it could be actual money, they're making money and packing it into dolls. Or somebody could be using dolls or children to pack away money, okay? But that's definitely coming up for sure. Is there anything else here? Box turtles, did I say that? Came up, as well as also hamsters, two little hamsters, or something that looks small like a hamster, but that two of them kissing. So if you have a small animal like that, I was definitely seeing them kissing, and that was really cute. Okay, so let's get right into the Divine Masculine. A lot of stuff came up from the codes that I put in online, and a lot of the stuff was coming through, was matching up to things I've heard in the past day or two, so definitely confirmed. And some other new information came through in the codes for me to put something together for me as well, which I'll tell you about that as well. So for the Divine Masculine, today is January 1st, 2019. The one is all about the magician, manifesting, making magic, okay? Having the tools to do what you need to do and get past your insecurities, right? So when the magician's reversed, that's all about your insecurities, not feeling like you have the tools. So it's all about that magician energy, and the day adds up to 14, which is the temperance card or the angel card. So this is really representative of the twin flames, all right? Starting out the new year of 2019, and 19 is the sun. So it's that masculine energy of life force, of the daytime, of seeing things clearly, and happiness. So temperance and the magician. So it's time to make magic at 0 point. Okay, perfect. Perfect way to start out the year. Okay. So, don't have much sun here though today. It's kind of like overcast. There's nothing wrong. It's actually warm outside. I couldn't believe it when I walked out there. That was great. And then, first thing I got is I'm doing the cards for the Divine Masculine, the Great Wall. That phrase came up, the Great Wall. Okay? So whether it's of China or just the Great Wall that they're building, that was at 9:55. The read was completed at 9:56. The major arcana were the Tower, Star, Wheel, and Hanging Man, which is the Tower, Star, Wheel, and Hangman. Yeah, they're all basically the same names for the Syrian Starseed deck. There was one wand, 4 swords, 1 pentacle, and 1 cup. So totally too much in his head. He's in brain wars, which definitely came up. The 5 of swords was in the read. the Knight of Cups, Queen of Swords, and King of Swords. So there's a King and Queen of Swords, so a couple, and then a Knight of Cups, which could be a love offer or a child or an offer of love. So there's the number codes that came up for the masculine were 2. Well, the coding was all about parenting and following your dreams, okay? That wasn't the underlying energy. The underlying energy was personal growth and manifestation, but the cards that came out for the masculine were parenting and follow your dreams. And this is parenting, whether it's their children or their own parents, okay? But it was bringing up, in the end, to not allow parenting to block your dreams. You can parent and follow your dreams at the same too. There was a clear message there for the masculine. I also was getting the phrase, I smell the blood of an Englishman, was coming up again. And that was at 10:01, so that was a significant message. The Great Wall, like I said, was at 9:55. I think I said that. But not only was that 9:55, then 55 comes up as significant within the card numbers. Within the coding, 2 is the only number that came up on its own, so it's all about the 2. And that message, as in regards to parenting and following your dreams, was all about 2 supporting the divine masculine in the dark night energies with IV energy. So for the feminine to help support him through this, sending them love energy. Okay, so love and light to parent and dream. And it's all about the 2 support. Okay, and it's all about the he tower. Okay, so he's definitely going through, if not dark night, there's definitely some dramatic events going on, or epiphanies for the masculine, because the tower is definitely coming up, and for 2 to support, and it's all about he. So getting into the coding that came up online, really funny, and the coding was really short today. There wasn't much that came up there, so most of the stuff that came up in the codings really had nothing to do with the words or partial words that came up for me in the coding. The first one was all about spark notes for the 2 towers. Book 4, chapters 7 and 8, and then chapter 1 came up underneath that, and that's by J.R.R. Tolkien's. So chapter 7 was Journey to the Crossroads, and I'm sorry I'm not up on the ring and all that kind of stuff, but Journey to the Crossroads was the first chapter that came up, and they came up in two headings. One was 7 and 8, so 78, and then the second one was 1, so the magician energy. So 78 is the 10 of Pentacles, so it's the masculine magician amidst the family of 78, which definitely came up, okay? So chapter 8 is the Stairs of Sirith Ungol. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing their names right. I have never seen the movie completely through. And here, some of the words that just popped up from the heading were tower, moon, stench, cavalry, horsemen, and then hobbits were on mission to destroy the ring. So that was that chapter, the stairs. So the journey to the crossroads, then the stairs, climbing the stairs, okay, taking the steps you need, and then goes back to chapter 1, the taming of Smeagol. So I have to read you this because the Spirit's connecting with me, because the description of this was so pertinent to us, okay? So I'm not just reading these for the sake of reading this. They all have some bearing or message to someone, at least one person. But this is very general to everyone. So first it says, in description of chapter 1, barren slopes of mountains, and I'm just paraphrasing, I'm not saying word for word. Barren slopes of mountains, and now they're so they're summarizing the chapter. Now they're at the tall cliff. And who does that sound like? Someone at the tall cliff where there's nowhere to go? The fool. There's no turning back. And Orc, which is so funny, Orc comes up because I was just listening to Magenta Pixie yesterday with her new installation about the Ark. Okay, so Orc is coming up here. Orc warriors now are now patrolling the riverbank that they already crossed, so there's no going back. Magically, the rope loosens, so he doesn't have to leave it behind. Find Gollum, the insect creature, to help guide them. So the hobbits are adaptable, with modest means and a bit of luck. And it was showing how they go on their journey, how they're adaptable, modest, and allow the universe to help them, and spirits connecting with me. Sometimes depend on something stronger than themselves to solve their problems. So then the focus they were saying was on Gollum, who is a slave to the ring. He's of split moral character. He talks to himself, debating in near neurotic manner, okay, so this is brain wars, due to inner conflict of lack of strong sense of identity. Innocent, selfish child versus depraved, evil monster. Okay, so this is what's coming up for the masculine. Another heading that came up was Adventurer climbs 1,500 feet to top of the world's tallest TV tower in North Dakota with just gloves on. And adrenaline junkie was coming up within that as well, which I know that comes up for the masculine for sure. Another heading came up regarding Tower Talk. And so I got all of these entries about ham IV rotors and towers. Ham IV rotor, mast slipping, and Roan 25G. And the 5G towers have come up already, we know, are too strong, and they're going to have to go back as far as the energy of that. As far as our society, we're going to have to pull back on some of that stuff. But contesting this stuff comes up. And 25 comes up, that's the Knight of Wands. And then the 5G was coming out of that as well. 10 foot to 1.5 foot mechanical leverage advantage. Okay, so there's something that means something to someone out there. That doesn't necessarily mean something to me. So the other heading was U.S. Tower, Ma, M-A. So Ma came up yesterday for the masculine. U.S. Tower, US Tower, Ma. 40 series tubular towers product reviews. And that's on eham.net. So someone who's got a big head, okay? Ma with a big head. And then smallest tubular tower, max 40 inches, minimum nested height is 40 feet, 21 feet 6 inches with a weight of 242 pounds. Okay, so here we have that, you know, the distributed numbers with the 4 in the center and the 2 on each side. 4 is stability and 2 is the feminine energy. So, you know, the stable masculine with the 2 feminines on either side. That one's got their number. I was just getting that. But also, this 40 inches may have to do with the masculine having a very little feminine, maybe who's like their mother, because their mother's very short. But also 3-inch square tube, and bottom is 4.5 OD tube. Okay, so if that means something to you, please comment below, because I'm bringing this stuff and a lot of it means something to me, but not all of it means something to me, because that's your job to bring up the rest, okay? So the other headings were guidelines on tech specs for installation. That was ncc.gov.ng. And that was so cool because it comes up as 3, but the 3 comes up as 3 small I's. I with the dots, which is definitely for me the co-creation with the third energy. Okay, but there's 3 I's. Mast guy. It says mast. We're talking about technical specs. And it's called mast, which means support, guy, G-U-I, like a mast, but also could be like interpreted as mast guy. But mast guy ropes made from pre-stretched steel only. So think of this in reference to your masculine, okay? They're made of pre-stretched steel only. Minimum strength of the guy wire, their connections, shall be maximum tension likely to occur in the worst loading condition. And then 4, small IV, guy wires. Oh, I was just getting guide wires. My father was an interventional radiologist, so IV guide wires. That's important for someone as well. But, so number 4 was guy wires, or the connections, must not be over-tightened in the installation of guy towers in order. Okay, so you can't over tighten them because, you know, they'll explode. But they're made of steel, the best steel, pre-stretched strong steel only. Okay, so they don't bend very easily. And that was coming up from April 9th, 2009, and it was 39 pages. So the numbers were definitely meaning something to me, so take it as you need to. But also when we were coming to the cliff, in the description, I was cracking up because they were under spark notes, which are cliff notes. So cliff needed to come up and Ma needed to come up, and the numbers of course all come up. And then LOT capital R came up as a reread heading. 2 towers. And here again, chapter 4 comes up. It was IV.10, so 10. The choices of Master, ... and at the end of that was Samwise. So the choices of Master Samwise. So here we go back to another chapter. Shelob attempts to smother him, all right, and this can be construed from the karmic side. Shelob attempts to smother him with her bulk, but instead impales herself upon Sting. And Stinger was definitely coming out in the cards this week. The light of Galadriel's feel, I'm not sure, I'm sorry, I'm probably tearing their names apart, drives her back and she vanishes. Sam cannot find a heartbeat. All right, there's no heart. Can't find a heartbeat or any other sign of life in Frodo. After a period of despair, he debates with self and decides he must take the ring. Overhearing the orcs, or the false arc, okay, they think dangerous elf warrior, Frodo, and elves came up in the sand art, is not dead but paralyzed. Okay? So someone might think is dead, they're not. They're actually just paralyzed. And someone might have done that on purpose, like paralyze themselves to pretend like they died, to get away from something. The great doors slammed, and that could definitely be if someone's making money, you know, counterfeit money. The great doors slammed to boom. The iron gate was shut. He hurled himself against plates and fell senseless to the ground. He was out in the darkness, and Frodo was alive but taken by the enemy. So, you know, all these things come through are definitely relating to the situation of them, and this is for the masculine today. So another heading that came up was 3 antennas with the same mast, 18 foot down, 2, and I first see Yeshua when I see this, because it's Y-A-E-S-U, 2 Yesu installed, but I was getting Yeshua, 18 feet down, 2 Yeshua installed, 1 top and 1 4 feet down. So there's 1 section on top and 1 4 feet down. So right, the grounder and the etheric person. 3 antenna though, okay, is the same support. It's all the same. Okay, so then another heading was Rotor System Owner's Manual, and that was a radio manual from Ham IV again. Bell type rotator, metered control unit, and necessary, you'll love this, this is very sexual. Bell type rotator, metered control unit, about the masculine, necessary mounting, large wear, intended for in-tower mounting, or base plate, and plate came up in the other heading from something completely different, which is part of the tower. However, in some instances, mast mounting is desired, okay? So mast or mass, all right? So it's coming up in all sorts of ways. Take it as it comes to you. That's your message. And then I added an F to the coding because there was an IV that came up in there, but I wasn't sure if the F was there or not, so I put that in. And then I got My Tower Project by RogerHolstead.com. Next, he lowered the mast to the point where he can easily reach the cross boom, which came up in the other heading. The great doors slammed to boom. So easily reach the boom and remove the 144 and the 440 antenna. That's antenna. And the antenna were definitely coming up in the read today. Okay? Next, he lowered the mast to the point where he could easily reach the cross boom and move the 144 and 440 antenna. Okay? Initially 2 pieces of 1.5-inch structured steel, bull welded together, tubing inside 2-inch, which worked well. So tubing could be construed too as the etheric cord connection. Another heading was FM antenna access without climbing the mast from Radio World. 2-to-1 mechanical advantage. This reduces the force on winch, and I was getting wench, okay? This reduces the force on winch, but doubles the amount of cranking needed to move the mast up and down, which is funny about sexually. It's just funny, okay? Then another heading came up, high mast tower install, erection, and repair and maintenance. Winch or wench, repair. This is a whole different heading. Winch was in the other one too. Winch, repair and replace, wire rope changing, trailing, cable changing, coloring of tower. So these are the things to repair and replace. The coloring of the tower, the high mast dismantling, shift at other location, realignment of tower, and overall tower lighting. Any lighting pole color work. Any. So it was just so perfect how this was coming through. The next heading says how to make an antenna tower into a tilt over the tower. Sturdy design to withstand winds and get your antenna up in the air for your ham. Well grounded due to twin-based design. Okay. The next heading, Alex climbs 100 feet antenna mast. And that was on YouTube. And then another PDF, field and lab studies. Okay, field studies on high mast lighting. Okay, and mast is masters, but also support, right? 2 high mast towers near Clear Lake, Iowa. IOU, Iowa. You like that? Field tested and monitored for 1 year. That was from October 04 to November 05. The next, and David Raper came up between that. It was just a name in one of the headings, but I wanted to bring that up because another David came up. Not to raise a tower. How not to raise a tower came up. Number 1. Redneck version and non-redneck version. And the duration was 7 minutes and 37 seconds. 37 is the King of Cups, and 7, of course, is the Chariot. And this other David that came up, I'll tell you that in a minute. The last 2 headings were Mast 2, so support 2, Revolvery. And that was from revolvy.com, revolvy.com. And it was talking about the Mast 2 gene. So there's a gene called Mast 2. So here we go again. There's a gene related to us twins. So it's just 2222. All right, so this is important. For the Mast 2, it was talking about a protein that controls TRAF6 and NF-kappa B activity. And I guess it was in the prior one. David Mercado came up, but I was getting Merkaba. So you see how there's a common thread here. It keeps showing me words or names that are very similar. It was just 2244. So we got 2222 and 2244 just came up. So Merkaba, but David, and then that referred me back to the other David, which was a David Raper. So there's something about a raper. So maybe somebody got wrongly convicted of raping someone when they were younger. And then I got the majestic spire of the Empire State Building is familiar. And by the way, the Empire State Building has 77 stories. The mast was to serve as a landing spot for dirigibles or a Zeppelin. And this is, this was a long time ago. It said it was made for docking new airships. Okay, so then I got messages about that because that brought something together for me, because now I'm just getting a message that airships will be docking on the Empire State Building. And about 2 years ago, I saw a Palladian ship come into the Statue of Liberty with the angels at the bottom receiving something. And then I was guided to actually go there, so I did have some grid work to do over there. So I went there with my daughter. But not only that, but the Statue of Liberty has an Atlantean altar just above it. So there's something very important about that area. Okay. So getting into the read. Number 12 also comes up at the beginning of the read for the Divine Masculine. Presently defenseless to the tower. And for the feminines, it could be their epiphanies. The Queen of Cups reversed, and by the way, all queens are coming up reversed in this read. The Queen of Cups reversed is out of control with drama with family. As one of 2 twin flames, the King of Cups' right eye comes toward the light from out of the dungeon, confessing or leaving their burdens behind. So this King of Cups doesn't have to be the masculine, but there's in the main cards is the King and Queen of Swords. They're both coming up reversed as well in the clarifiers. But the King and Queen of Cups are coming up in the underlying energy, so they could both be the masculine and his karmic, or one could be the masculine and his karmic, one could be the masculine and his feminine. They could also be, these two cups could end up being the masculine's parents or the karmic parents, because they kept coming up for the Emperor and Empress. So keep that in mind. So that the masculine with family, the Queen of Cups reverse, out of control, drama, it's the Tower moment, coming up with family, as the masculine flame, one of two, King of Cups, right eye, comes toward the light from out of the dungeon. So someone's father may actually also be a twin flame, or father-in-law, confessing or leaving their burdens behind. So this is the masculine energy coming out of the dungeon. The old Nine of Flames are all out. They've worn out their welcome. The High Priestess, secret or psychic abilities, free with open heart to leap to the twin bridge with flowers waiting at the end. Green plants may need watering. Energy magnetizing upward. Hands are tied. Moss growing in too much water. Bowling pins are being shown to me as mirroring. A mirroring line. They mirror a line. They mirror and line the bridge as spindles. So the spindles were showing me like bowling pins mirrored. The sun pictures framed by the trees on either side. The crucifixion. The silvery, slivery moon is also framed by two swords or antennae. Okay, so it's showing us, it's giving us two references: the moon with the two swords around it, the antennae, this negative energy or the truth, and then the sun, we have the green around it, nature around the sun supporting it, blocking reflection of this. So the antenna from the towers, so that 5D energy that's not good for us, blocking reflection of the sun onto the moon. And then 5G towers and the eclipses were coming up, so there may be something coming up in the eclipses that has to do with the 5G towers. 4 plants line the window, help diffuse these energies. Notice plant life gravitates towards the phone towers in your yard to protect you. How it keeps knocking down your Comcast cable line. Listen to Mother, she protects you. Poles and wires are brown paper packages tied up with string because they bring energy, surprises, contrast, and expansion. The sound of music comes up here again, and spirits have been connecting with me for this whole last line. When the dogs bite and the bees sting, you are not in resonance or harmony with them. Love them and they love you, and spirits connecting. The divine masculine feelings being buried at this, the divine masculines are feeling like they're being buried, they're being burned at the stake, which the feminines have all experienced this type of thing already, but this is coming up specifically for them today, and over isolating and hiding because of it. The Queen of Wands reverse world is out of control, while the High Priestess sun is, or the High Priestess is seen by her as being free as a bird. Purity, chastity is his connection to source. Could be coming up for her too, that's what she thinks if they're very religious. Bugs or something sticking out from the top of the curtains is coming up again, possibly by a rip in the ceiling, curtains not working, that there's a ripple effect of not sharing, giving, receiving help, and then left unbalanced, angry, or headaches, which are coming up as red, then gray or blue, coming out to white to clear your intent. Blue skies outside, information has been received, the right foot in yellow boot shows confidence, but red is deceiving. Buttercup yellow from Mary Magdalene raises dogma to spirituality, and light blue Jesus lifting spirits with his words. And then I was getting killing me softly with his words. In the underlying energy, the main signs that came up were Scorpio, Pisces, Aries, Virgo, Aquarius, Taurus, and Libra. By the end of the read, everyone comes in except for Cancer and Virgo are not at all in the rest of the read, but Virgo is in the underlying energy. There's no Cancer at all in the read, whether it's underlying or the rest. No Cancer. That's the only sign that didn't come up. So playfulness comes up as the underlying energy for the masculine, as well as honeymoon beneath that. The King of Swords is out taking it in, the whole situation. Now the divine feminine offers love, but will she accept it? Hand measurer, mirror reflects, wire scrolled, mandala effect. Brown paper packages, playing her strings, as Empress Red Boots with family crest, who presents the lovebirds, her heart on display, but for show, not what occurs in the nest. Snake wrapped around Atlas, right leg and arms. She knows he's promised to do no harm, and she will walk right over you. Karmic may even have cheated. He could have even seen them, but memories of heartbreak and her power stop him, and for kids' sake. Personal growth comes up with self-discipline for the masculine. Someone may even be, of the masculines, the graduate and Mrs. Robinson, or the karmic with his brother or father. He may even know, but too tired working and or with kids in order to bother. So he's just given up his life altogether. Or just feels unworthy in general, the player, the sleaze or slayer, the one who sleeps around with anything template. In justice or in divorce, the worst is over. I feel like throwing up. The Queen of Pentacles reverse has just pushed him too far. He goes to run but can't escape. They've offered a parlay. Okay, so I was getting that for the masculine that he was feeling sick, not me, but I was feeling it for the masculine, that they felt like they were throwing up because the Queen of Pentacles reversed, which I was coming up as a karmic energy, not as the twin flame, has just pushed him too far. He goes, it could be the feminine though too as well. He goes to run but can't escape. Now the karmic family or whoever's around him have offered a parlay. Foot caught in the spokes, chains all out of alignment. The greasy wheel has a royal assignment. Green and purple and gold, to balance and give to others, to be himself before he gets old. Throwing star on a roasting pin. Throwing star, like that, or take it the way you hear it, but throwing star on roasting pin, stay or go, lose or win. Coming out of the darkness into the light, playful, the Empress on standby. Okay, so he's definitely feeling that the masculine wants to come forward, but he's still feeling insecure. And like I said, the Empress is coming up, that's on standby, and it was just 32-23 as I looked up. 32 is the Six of Wands, and 23 is the King of Wands. Six of Wands and the King of Wands. So that's, his peacock personality. Okay, getting all the attention, being the man of passion, being at attention, success, good news, all that stuff, leading the way, being the leader, rescuing everyone and coming home from the war. That's the Six of Wands. So recently, a star is born, or bored of an offer of love opportunity with the Empress reversed, coming out of depression with Aquarius, Taurus, Virgo, or Pisces. They could be a combination of those as well, but following his light to dreams and help others. The foundation here is Knight of Cups. I said dumping love, but I was getting dumpling, so that might mean something to someone as well. Knight of Cups, dumping love, or dumping love, and walking away for new passion. This could be, the offer of love could be from the Divine Feminine, but it could also be one of their children, an older child. So a tidal wave of emotion is coming up here. Centrally, for the masculine, at the heart, this person feels left alone and exiled in the cold. Destiny of feeling like his destiny is just to overwork, with no affection, grounded in home that's insecure. Okay, so this could come up for both the masculine and the feminine. The challenge for the masculine is the Tower. Lightning and drama. No peace with the justice. He got justice, but now there's still no peace. King of Pentacles, passionately busy with seemingly having family and justice, but still no peace. True love at work, protecting self to burn the past, or from the heat of the past fire, while the angel King of Swords with Empress conspire. And they're both coming up reverse. That's very negative energy. King of Swords and Empress reverse. It could be his mother, or a karmic energy, or a boss energy. Now in the head, in brain wars as usual. Over twins, message of love, waiting to keep his upper hand, or showing his upper hand, as sucked into choosing the right fake world or natural twin left hand, grounded in the land, messaging the truth, offering love and understanding. The King of Swords reversed is not in his truth at the moment, stands up for self, and gives out more money. His twin longs for him and willing to burn the past, never too proud to say so, a new life at last. Bearing the naked truth and stalking is the devil's hand. Twin offers communication to detox imbalance and be whistleblower if necessary, to blue caps and bonnets with false infinity on it. Or the Divine Masculine with friends in high places, he thinks would be mortified if they knew about his disgraces. Soon there's heartbreak or separation, jealousy and communicating, truth to find peace without fighting or walking away from conflict. Kids may be transforming to live their own dreams. Okay, so with the kids are probably more with it than the parents right now. When they get mad and hurt and their parents aren't listening to them because they're going through all their own crap, the kids are learning to deal with their own pain and deciding, I'm not listening to them anymore, I'm going to go out and live my own life and live my own dreams. So this is some of the energy coming up with their kids, okay? Not only this, but after an announcement to women and children of rejection may have caused fighting and jealous tantrums. Or a message of his insincerity transforms and brings light, or Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, fight. The Divine Masculine is Queen of Swords, that's how he's seeing himself, with power to change after conflict. The wounded warrior's guarded, uninspired, but no flame. Well, and no flame. Being trapped or held prisoner, yet by himself, yet the worst is already over. The cards that came up for the masculine were worth waiting for, keep an open mind, religious factors, and you deserve love, and very soon. So around him, as he's seen, the King of Swords detoxing and no longer waiting to spend savings. The Empress and her daughter stand between the Queen and King of Swords. The Divine Masculine, so that could be, it doesn't have to be a daughter, but there's one situation where the Empress and her daughter are standing between the King and Queen of Swords. The Divine Masculine, King and Queen of Swords, Divine Feminine, so he could be seen as the King of Swords and be showing the Queen of Swords right now, both. So he may be reflecting him and his twin. The Divine Feminine is coming up as the Knight of Cups here, but again, like I said, that could be a child as well. Clear blocks of destiny, of risk or gamble, that it will cause more suffering, that the Emperor will be out of control or sick or drained of money, power, and independence. All right, and then for the masculine, parenting and follow your dreams is coming up as most important. Yeah. Enjoying your children and the Queen of Pentacles. It doesn't have to be one or the other. Okay? You can deal with the karmic with the children and then be happy with the Queen of Pentacles. Or the Queen of Pentacles could be a karmic where it's showing that you need to deal with your children but also follow your own dreams, not what other people are telling you have to do. Forgive and release pride. Hanging man with right knee block inflamed, and impatient at work, red, blue, and gold, and mixed patterns of red and orange. Epiphanies announced, partner held responsible. Foot to the fire, or knee. The devil blows whistle on the Empress and Leo, aroused by copycatting. Juggling imbalance, a project explodes. Announcement to women and kids that the jig is up. Family, his family has hung him out to dry. So there's different situations coming up here. One of the situations is his family has hung him out to dry. The Queen of Swords reversed cries and demands why. Rise above for your children. So, right? So the religious mother is calling out how she's the perfect religious person and how could you do this for your children and all that kind of thing. Okay. Or he hangs out with family. His karmic is not talking to him. She says she's rising above for the children. Okay, so this is how they're coming off. I was also getting twins and or kids letting go and patching things up to connect and offer a new life where everyone is satisfied. A connection where each person has their own happiness and perfect contentment. Or the family is also offering money to him to get him to stay. Now, of course, after it's something he wanted for a long time, whatever makes him happy. Okay, this is what they're saying to him now to get him to stay. Burdened by love of Queen and King of Swords, Aquarius is alone in tower with broken heart, destined as long as Five of Swords, hanging out with family in anger issues. Or So several situations. Or a confession of love from the Queen of Swords to the King of Swords, shining light alone with epiphanies but broken heart, destined to be at war in their own head as long as he remains hanging with anger stuck in his knee and family overseeing him. Or confession of dreams to Aquarius. Confession of masculine confessing his dreams to an Aquarius about his love, but that person is now alone. The brain wars due to Tower of Love. Now the karmic's broken heart, hanging him, destined to hang, controlled by the family. So she's brokenhearted and hanging out, and him destined to hang and controlled by the family because of the duty and obligation that he feels. Or burdened by confession of love, the King and Queen of Swords depressed and alone with sudden separation, destined for brain wars as long as he hangs out with family. This could all, like I said, could also be about an older child of the Divine Masculine with rejection and jealousy issues, like their mother or father. So it's definitely getting reflection of the mother or father, whichever way it goes. Or a younger child who's very talkative, direct and harsh words, but they're upright, like also the father or mother. So one's like one parent, one's like the other. The Divine Masculine in his head, battling, trying to see a new perspective, so as not to lose his temper at work, and especially now with family and kids, because he's really like a pressure cooker right now coming up. Empress and Emperor are both coming reversed, and like I said, all of the signs come up within the read except for Cancer and Virgo, although Virgo is in the underlying energy. And I want to tell you where all the signs were so you'd know where your characters are. Also, I was getting a parallel between a Libra and a Pisces child who were maybe at odds with each other initially, but are working it out. So they're the only signs that change during the read, is the Libra and the Pisces combination. So it's something about something they had between them that they worked out, which was good, because it starts up reverse for them, and then they both end up upright. Also, the Hanged Man with the family and anger issues could be these different people. It could be the masculine, but it also could be the Queen of Pentacles reversed karmic, a Scorpio, a Capricorn child, or a Leo partner. They were specifically coming up around this. Or, like I said, the Divine Masculine amidst all of these people. Of the kings, the King of Swords was the only one that came up reversed. King of Pentacles and King of Cups came up, I believe the King of Cups was upright. King of Pentacles definitely. And the King of Wands wasn't in the read at all. Of the queens, like I said, all 4 queens were reversed. So maybe not a good day for the girls to go out. It was just 42-42, which is the Two of Cups, the partnership, the connection. Of the knights, the Knight of Cups was reversed. Okay, so that's that jealousy issues. And the Knight of Wands and Knight of Swords came up upright. The pages, the Wands and Cups pages were reversed, and the Swords and so the Page of Cups was both, because Page of Cups turned upward. But the Page of Swords was upright to begin with. And there was no Page of Pentacles in the read. And I told you, of the signs, the ones that were reversed and upright, they came up in the read. Scorpio, Aquarius, Libra, and Libra changed from reverse to upright, were the only ones that were upright. The rest were all reversed. Libra was initially reversed, but then went upright. Taurus, Capricorn, Aries, Sagittarius, Virgo, Pisces, Gemini, all were reversed in the read. Okay? So a lot to take in there. Definitely masculine, going through a lot of his own stuff and dealing with kid stuff and karmic stuff and family stuff all at once. So it's a lot. Yeah. So I'm going to let you go. Bye. Rise and be loved.